I'm not entirely sure what to make of everything, but I will say this. I'm enjoying OC.
Oh, you are?
Yeah, I am. I'm confused. I'm confused about OC, but I like this episode. I feel okay about where we're at.
Yeah, I think we have a good amount to break down, which is better than nothing. So at least we're not sitting here just complaining about it.
Yeah.
Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows. Bros and shows. Bros and shows. I gotta have me my bros and shows.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Bros and Shows. I am your co-host, Steele Russell, joined as always by the one and only Scooter McGavin. What's up, dude?
Not a whole lot. This OC episode, it's a little late. We had some things going on. Steele was down the shore. I went to a Kesha concert last night, so figured we wanted to get it out before the new episode comes out so you guys understand where we're coming from when we're sitting at home watching this show.
Yeah, and to the people, we've gotten some comments about the release days of our episode. Hey, we could take vacations sometimes too, guys. Okay, it's
Yeah.
summer for us too. We're trying to get it out fast.
We're not robots. We do
most
stuff.
most of you are cool and get it. Some people are like, this maybe got like a bad review because of the release of one of the episodes. Like, that's not nice. We're trying here, we had a little vacay. It's summertime, baby.
Yeah, this every once in a while, it takes a little while to get an episode out, but for the most part, I feel like they're usually out within a day or two, right?
I feel like that too. I don't know. Who knows? Whatever. I just
Back off.
yeah, we love you guys. We love you. JK. But let's talk OC. This was there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on this season in a good way. I don't know what teams are going to form, if there are going to be teams. I'm not sure who's getting along with who at the end of all of this, but it's interesting. It's just interesting to see all of it play out. And as you talked about a lot last episode, you were bringing up like Katie and a lot of the missteps she's taken. She she needs to clean it up a little bit. I like Katie, but
Yeah.
like you're seeing it bite her in the ass constantly, and it's like, yeah, it's hard to defend some of it. It's like I think the where I disagree is the gravity of the situation. Like I don't disagree
Right.
that she's like put her foot in her mouth, but as far as what's happened, not all of it, but most of it, I'm like, I don't think that it calls for this level of like, fuck her.
No, it doesn't. I think that more people should just take the route of like, I don't really care too much about like what's going on. Talk about her missteps, talk about, just really poor performance, I guess you could say, in the off season
Bad
with all the things.
foresight.
Yeah, bad foresight, bad form, all of those things come into play. I would just love it if once somebody who gets caught doing this stuff would just immediately cop to it and be like, it's not that big of a deal. Like, I don't really understand what the fuck you're talking about. Because I do think that that's the approach that she should be taking when it comes to Emily, when it comes to even Shannon. Like, Shannon is who she is. We get reports every other day about production crews, about TMZ reporting that she is an absolute terror. I mean, last week she was
JKB.
on, yeah, JKB. Just go to him. Last week she was on Watch What Happens Live, and I forget who she was on with. I want to say Madeline Welch, and generally speaking, not really somebody that like is on Bravo shows, but Shannon was there. And she was getting more love than Shannon was, and apparently she was pissed off about it, and she had to like calm down with whoever was there in the crowd. I think she's very funny. I think she's an incredible like housewife performer, but she is an absolute psychopath. So if you could get to the point, Katie, where you could just look at Shannon and be like, Shannon, I do not give a fuck. You're a psycho. I've had to deal with you the entire season. It's enough. I've had enough with you. Yeah, I recorded you and sent it to my husband because I said, can you believe that I'm dealing with this shit? I would respect that so much. Yeah, people are still going to be like, well, that's crazy that she was recording her. She was having a breakdown. She was going through a lot. I get it. But at some point, enough's enough with Shannon. And I'm getting to that point where I'm like, I just don't care anymore. You are just psychotic. And if somebody wants to record you flipping out again, so be it. Stop flipping out. Maybe that. Just stop doing that shit.
I think you nailed it. I think that Katie cares too much. about the fallout of it. I think if she took a
She
different
wants to be
approach,
friends with all of them. Like I don't know. You wouldn't be doing this if you wanted to be friends with everybody. And she said this last week that she didn't really know what she was getting into. She thought that it was a real dog eat dog world in the housewives world, which it is. But it doesn't call for whatever the fuck you were doing, talking to
yeah,
bloggers and stuff. So like, just admit your missteps. And if people are still going to give you shit for it, you're not going to be friends with them. So who cares? Just move on and have that attitude. I think you'll actually get respect from people like Tamara and Heather Dubrow if you just have an I don't give a shit what you think about me attitude, because they typically don't.
I think that she's still a rookie, so
Yeah, in
we're
so many
getting
ways.
past that point. But I agree with you. I think it's just she wants everyone to like her. It's like that's not
Yeah.
possible. It's not going
That's
to
like
happen.
that's what that hot pot dinner was all about, or lunch was all about. I want you guys to get to know the real me. That ship has sailed, lady. What are we doing here?
Let's get into this episode. Now, we get Katie with Gina, and they're getting a little scalp treatment. And it seems like these two are finally able to move on a little bit, which is fine. Like, I don't need everybody against Katie all season. It's going to get old. I really don't need Gina against Katie, because you get all these worthless scenes of Gina like raising hell, and it's like, dude, you
Has
or Emily, I
nothing
don't
to do
don't
with you.
care. Yeah, it just doesn't do
At least
anything for
Emily
me.
has like a genuine gripe with her. Gina's gripe is just that she feels bad because she brought Katie into the group. Like, shut up. I
Yeah,
don't
it
care.
does have the same.
Get your
It's
own
not the same,
storyline.
right? And it's funny though to get like this apology tour montage. I'm sorry, I didn't mean. I'm sorry. We're sorry. I'm so
Sorry.
sorry. Like that's literally what it is. And you get to see all the shit, and that's when it's hard to defend it, because you're watching all of these little things pile up, and you're
Yeah.
just like, at what point do you not talk to the blogger, or you don't give a piece of information you don't need to give,
Mhm.
or like it's none of it's that big of a deal.
It's not. It's not even really that we want to defend her, because
No,
like you said, you like Katie. I feel very indifferent towards Katie just because like I
which
don't
is
really
fine.
care. And it's I don't it is her fault, but it's not her fault because of everybody's reactions to these things. Like, it's just not an interesting storyline, because we know that every housewife talks to bloggers. Every housewife wants to be on podcasts. They have their own podcasts. It's just a non-issue. It is such a non-issue. I just don't want to deal with this the whole season. That's all I'm
Same.
doing. So if I'm ever defending Katie, it's because I truly don't give a shit about the storyline anymore and I want to move on really badly. It's not really me defending it, because it's indefensible. Like, you got caught, you just have to cop to it and say, which she kind of did. And
But
you know
she
what? If you
always, I'm sorry, butts it. I'm sorry, but sorry,
she
but sorry,
does, yeah.
but.
Shannon was right about that. It's just cop to it, and then if they still feel a type of way and they still give you shit for it, then you can say, are we still talking about this? Are we still
Yeah.
doing this? Like, let's move on. Then start pointing the finger in the other direction. You guys do this all the time. What are we talking about anymore? It's stupid. That then I would actually respect it, and I'd probably start to like Katie. But right now I'm just indifferent, mostly because she's making us sit through this.
And as a note taker, we get an absolutely brutal split
Yeah, we
scene
do.
of 3 conversations going on, because we check in with Emily and Tamra. Emily rocking the Canadian tuxedo, big fan, love a Canadian tux. But they're talking about Gretchen, and like, oh, clearly Gretchen hasn't moved on. It's like, oh, you certainly have, haven't you, Tamra? But
I don't know why. I just always want to call her Gretchen Wieners.
I think it's just because that name's stuck in my head from Mean Girls. When I hear
Yeah.
Gretchen, I immediately think Gretchen Wieners for whatever reason. So I don't think
There's
that's
just
your
no way
fault.
around it. Yeah. There's no way
There really
around it.
isn't. And the third conversation, we have Heather, Jenn, and Shannon out to a little bit of a lunch date. So we're jumping all back and forth the whole time. It's mainly between Heather, Jenn, Shannon, Emily, and Tamara. Those are the big things, right? The one note I will say from Gina is that she is admitting that Tamara's wrong when it comes to like this Facebook dispute, bringing up the comment and all of that stuff. Okay. So let's get back to it.
Yeah.
As far as Heather, Jenn, and Shannon go, they're talking about Katie's text, because she sent a text to Shannon that morning, trying to explain what had happened. In her mind, she's giving context. In Shannon's mind, she's reading, I'm sorry, but, because
Yeah.
the claim that Katie's making is nobody else heard this recording, right? I recorded it. I sent it to Matt to explain what I was dealing with. That's what happened. And in passing, I mentioned that to Alexis, and then Alexis said that she heard the recording, blah, 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 so on and so forth. Now, the story goes that Jenn, Alexis, and Katie were hanging out. Jenn, she clarifies, I've never heard this recording. We have two
Yep.
issues here. One, this all comes down to a she said, she said. And two,
Yep.
Jenn forgets things.
Jen does forget things, and it's weird because I want to believe Jen just because she just seems like the most normal out of everybody, and she's been through so much. But I don't know. It really it just comes down to your imagination. How do you
Yeah.
imagine that this scene played out in my head? And this kind of does go back, and I think we did kind of just weirdly stumble into what's wrong with Katie, in that she wants everybody to be her friend. And I think that's probably true with Alexis too, because we asked that last year. Why the fuck are Jen and Katie going over to Alexis's house to talk to her? That just seems weird. But again, Alexis is, for whatever reason, completely against Shannon because she thinks that Shannon's jealous of her. I could see this scene playing out where Katie goes to that dinner, tells Alexis and Jen all about the whole situation, mentions that she had recorded Shannon having a fucking shitstorm, throwing it over to Matt. I don't think that she played it at that dinner table for whatever reason. In my head, I just don't think she did. And I could see Alexis lying and saying, I've got this video too, showing that Shannon was having a meltdown because Katie gave it to me. That's probably how it played out in my mind. If we get any more evidence, I will change my tune very quickly. But we don't have any evidence. Like you said, it's she said, she said. So we're stuck in this middle thing. Again, at the root of it, I don't really care too much because it's stuff that happened off camera that we're not really talking about. So I don't really give a shit. And it's stuff that happened last year and Alexis Bellino is involved, which again, I don't care. But I imagine that's probably how it played out. And again, bad move by Katie. Why are you telling Alexis something that she's clearly going to tell the rest of the group? Oh, I heard Shannon had a complete blow up at the photo shoot the other day. Katie told me. Oh, actually, she showed me the video. Like she could just take it an extra step and lie because nobody's going to try to catch her in the lie because now it goes back to Katie, and that's really all that anybody wants. It's just, I don't know. I'm a little tired about it.
I am too, and we've talked about the blogger storyline on other shows. It just
Yeah.
doesn't ever play well. What I will say, it's leading to one positive thing that I'm enjoying watching, and it's watching Jenn really come into her own. We've watched her
Yeah.
tiptoe around things the first couple seasons she was on, but now she's really finding her groove. And in this moment specifically, because Heather's saying, well, Alexis told me that she played the recording for her, and it's a voice recording, not a video. But her saying, I don't think there's any coming back from that. I'm like, what? Like, it's not that serious. Like, Shannon
It's
was losing
not.
her shit as she does frequently. Yes, it's an invasion
Okay.
of privacy. Yes, it's a stupid thing to do, especially if you're going to tell people about it. She definitely told Alexis because, as you said, she wants everybody to like her. That was dumb. But this isn't like the end of the world. She didn't send this
No.
to the bloggers. So Jenn points out,
She should have.
yeah, well, no, she points
Like
out.
just dig in deep in the blogger story. Just start sending everything. Like you won't get asked back, but at this point, I don't know if Katie's even going to come back next season. So like,
That's
who
too early to
cares?
tell. That's
Just
too early.
burn
We
the
got to see where it
bridges.
goes.
But like, I'll ask you this: how is this any different or less damning or more damning than Tamara listening to the butt dial last year and telling everyone that Shannon was freaking out and telling them what she heard on the fucking butt dial when she shouldn't have been privy to that conversation because it was
But
a conversation that Shannon was having with, I don't know if it was her legal team or her daughters or whoever it was, just somebody, a close friend, maybe a guy from Love Hotel because that's what she does now.
dude,
I don't know. Yeah, this was a very funny episode for that. But it's not any different. It's actually less damning because we know that Shannon's flipping out. We know this is happening behind closed doors probably every day. Shannon, stop flipping out. Maybe this won't happen anymore. It's actually less damaging than what Tamara did last year. So let's tie all that in if
that
Jen was going to do that.
that's what she does. She points out, like, how many lines has Tamara crossed? Like, honestly. And Heather's response sucks. She's like, I'm not Heather's
Ugh.
keeper. She's like, I'm not Katie's keeper. What does that have to do with anything? And she's talking about the hypocrisy of these
Yeah.
two things. It's the same fucking thing, but for whatever reason, Tamara gets a pass. Heather, you're cool with Tamara, but Katie can't come back from sending a voice recording to her husband.
God, the
Doesn't make any
goalpost
sense.
moves every episode in this fucking cast.
Meanwhile, Tamra's over with Emily saying that she's held to a different standard and they're baiting her. They're baiting me right now. It's like, what the fuck are you
I don't
talking
know what's
about?
going on. It's a bizarro world. It just it depends on who you are. It always has and it always will in this cast. It's the double standards for people is just it's unbearable. Just hold everybody accountable for the same shit for the love of God. Like that's all we ever ask for. And again, we don't like Tamara as a person. We agree that she's good for the show. We say that pretty much every episode at this point. But it would just be so satisfying if once we held Tamara accountable for the shit that we hold everybody else accountable for. Just once, just throw it out there and just see what happens. She won't see it coming because she's gotten away with it for so long. It would just be so enjoyable for the audience. For once, hold her accountable. Hold her feet to the fire for a little bit.
And what do you mean by I'm not scared of Tamara? Who said that? Who mentioned that? Who brought that up? Nobody.
Don't know.
She's like, do you feel safer to give her grace? She's like, I'm not scared of Tamara. It's like, nobody said you
What?
were. You said you
Are
were.
you? It sounds like
Now
you
I
are.
think you are. Now I think you're afraid of the backlash from Tamara, and that's why you are just agreeable to the stupid shit that she's doing. But there's a birthday party for a birthday that was a month and a half ago, and this doesn't make any sense. She's like, it's cold. It's like it's January in LA. Like, how cold does it get? I don't know the
Yeah.
answer to that, but
I do agree with having your birthday around the holidays is always tough because people
I
don't
thought it was
want to do
because of the
anything. They're just doing
temperature.
holiday stuff. Yeah, maybe. And she was talking about people are hungover or they're sober because they're doing dry January or whatever. I just don't want to do that.
I agree with that.
I personally don't care. I think it's fine. Whatever. I might be annoyed in the moment, but whatever. I'm not going to get her a birthday gift a month and a half later. That's for damn
No,
sure.
I don't think you should have to.
No, for a
Are you invited?
$150,000 party or whatever. I am invited next year. Yes.
Nice. Congrats.
I'm gonna
Congrats.
go. It's gonna be extravagant. I don't care for how often we talked about that in this episode, though. Why the fuck do we need every scene somebody has to have a comment about Heather's birthday, and then we go into a deep conversation about Heather's birthday?
Because it's
Whatever.
Heather. Because they're
guess.
highlighting like, oh, Heather. Got to all about Heather.
Yeah, do it once. Cut it out. Honestly, production, just edit.
Yeah,
We don't need to have the same
knock it
conversation
off.
15 times.
But I guess Tamra's attorney has told her to not be in the same room as Ryan because Ryan's threatening a lawsuit. I can't imagine why. That's the funny thing. The way that she's going about this is like, I can't even be in the same room as him. It's like, that's your doing because you said things that weren't
because your
true.
lawyer does not trust you in the same room as him. It's not because we don't trust Ryan. It's because we can't trust you in the same room as him because you're going to say something stupid.
Correct. And it's funny as
That's all
shit
it
to hear
is.
her act like, oh, like you wouldn't put me in that situation. And it leaves Heather with a decision to make. And she tells Jenn this. She's like, I invited you and Ryan. It's like a couple's party. But Tamara said that she can't be in the same room as him. So, like, I'm not sure what to do. And Jenn, and again, like coming into her own, she's like, well, then you're choosing her. If you're telling me not to invite my significant other, you're choosing Tamara's side. That's bullshit. And Jenn goes off a little bit, which I love. I'm glad that she's finally checking people and she's checking somebody in Heather, which you would think that maybe she'd be a little bit timid to do that. She goes through the list and it's like, these are damning things. She had to convince people that her house was safe for her children because Tamara lied and said that Ryan's house was getting raided by the FBI. That's a really big thing to answer for. And Heather's like, I guess like, hey, I'll just invite everybody and the chips will fall where they may. But she's just trying to find excuses. She's using Katie as an example. She's comparing what Katie did to what Tamara did. I'm like, those are not even in the same ballpark.
I think this was actually, it was pretty impactful on Heather, weirdly. Like, as you can kind of see later in the episode,
dude.
She was stuttering in that moment. She didn't expect that kind of backlash from Jenn. She kind of just expected Jenn to take it lying down, or maybe, make a joke at Tamara's expense and just get to the point where she got to, where it's like, yeah, I'm just going to invite everybody and see how it goes. But in the conversation that Heather has with Tamara a little bit later in this episode, I think this actually did have an impact on Heather in the way that she was moving, which is good. I mean, that's exactly what you want out of Jenn. Jenn's really stepping into her own. It's just so fucking funny to me. Like, what did you think was going to happen? Did you think Jenn was going to sit there and be like, oh, no, yeah, I totally understand that. Ryan just had knee surgery, so maybe he won't go anyway. And maybe it's better if we just kind of move on just for the sake of the party and for the sake of your birthday. Like, no, she's not going to take that lying down.
That's bullshit. I think it's even funnier that Ryan had to go while he's like in a fucking cast for his knee. It's like, you have to go to this goddamn party now. But
I wonder if there was a moment where he was like, yeah, I don't. No, actually, knowing Ryan, there was never a moment where he wasn't
no,
going to go. He wants to be a housewife, so
they could have cut
I,
his
li-
leg off. He would have been there.
I like him a lot better this year. But let's not just act like he's a different guy.
No, he kind of makes that clear in this scene a little bit. I didn't,
Yeah.
or in the next scene he's in, but we get Katie and Matt, and we get to check in with their family dynamic. Obviously, we know it's gotten a little crazy. After her and her husband split, she was homeless and she
Mhm.
gave up custody, both legal and physical custody of her children to her ex so that she could get her shit squared away, which is a massive, massive thing. And obviously, very emotional. She went through a lot of trauma with this, and it would be insane. You could argue you couldn't come back from it if somebody weaponized that in front of the
Oh
world.
God,
You would think that that would be damning, but
we're
we
not
apparently,
weaponizing it again, are we?
yeah, we just did the valley, but
God.
apparently we're not even going to mention that. We're going to gloss over what Emily did at the reunion, and we're
Yeah.
going to act as though Katie's the worst human in the world for filming or recording yet another Shannon freakout. That's where we're at in this show. That's
This is
why we get so frustrated.
this is exactly why it's so tough for me to get into the show, because there are so many people on this show that need their comeuppance. They need to actually face the music, and they never do. And yet we hold people who just got on this show accountable, and we label them as the worst person in the world. Like there
Evil.
are
Label them evil.
label them evil when people on this show have done 15, 20, 50 times worse to each other, and they don't get held accountable, and they're not labeled as evil. It's a joke. It's just that's why it's so tough to get into this show. That's why the dynamics of this show are just so ass backwards, and it doesn't make for great TV. We fall into these situations all the time, and it used to be kind of funny where it's like, oh, well, that's just goofy. Like the hypocrisy is just funny to me. We don't even laugh at it anymore. We're just
Mm-mm.
we come to expect this type of situation. And it's just like you roll your eyes at it and move on.
You see this one specifically, and you get the flashback of Emily doing what she did, and I'm like, this
Yeah.
is horrible. Like, it's so
Yeah.
bad, and yet we haven't talked about it once this season.
It's disgusting behavior. But yeah, let's talk about how Katie's 19-year-old daughter heard that your kids say that you don't really like Heather and Heather's mean to you. Oh my God.
Oh, it's the
Touch my
worst thing
fucking pearls.
anyone's ever done to me on this show, is what she said. Like, what are you talking about? It's fucking
They're
nuts.
losers, and their life, none of their lives are really that interesting.
Mm-mm.
Oh God, this is becoming a bash session. I need to calm down. They are like they're uninteresting. They're losers. The storylines that they come up with are fucking stupid and boring. And now we gotta just label Katie as evil because she filmed Shannon having a freak out when Shannon has a freak out every day. Like whatever. Miss me with
Evil.
this shit.
Evil. You missed me with that shit, bro. But Emily, Shane, Gina, Travis, Shannon, and Adam of Love Hotel. That's what his name was. We were talking last week. Like, thank
We
God it's not
were.
that guy. It's Adam. That
It
guy's
is.
weird.
Yep. Yeah,
We,
Adam's a weirdo. No,
we,
wait, no, Adam was
yep.
fine. It
Mm-mm.
wasn't Adam.
Adam.
Adam was
Adam
not
was
the
the one
weirdo.
talking to Luann, trying to get the threesome going.
I don't think it was.
Yes, it was.
Oh
Because he wore that
man.
weird like sachet belt at one point with a vest.
He did, but like I thought that Adam was fine, honestly.
He
No,
was the awkward one when they were sitting in the room and she wanted him to kiss her and he wouldn't do it. Like, that was Adam.
I guess it was. Okay.
Yep. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh
I'm
yeah,
just
that guy. And I think again, we'll just highlight the hypocrisy all the time.
yeah, let's do it.
Seth, I always call him Seth. Shane, Emily's husband, Shane, shows up
Mhm.
to the bowling alley with his own bowling shoes. Okay. Just want to label it. I just want to call it like it is. And that's fine if you
He
have hobby.
seems like the kind of guy that would do that, to be fair.
Without a doubt, he owns his own bowling shoes and probably his own ball. Now,
Mhm.
if that's the case and you accept that, and you go as far after he pulls a strike to go, God, that's so hot. When Shannon shows up with a dude and they're wearing matching bowling shirts, you don't get to comment on it because
No.
your husband brought his own bowling shoes. So that's the level of hypocrite we're dealing with here. That's frustrating to me. And it seems
It
so
is very
small.
frustrating. It does seem so small, but I kind of caught it too. Mostly because I was like, of course, fucking Shane has his own bowling shoes. Like,
Yeah, it's probably embossed
Good
with his
bud.
name in them and stuff like that. But anyway, Gina decides to grill Adam like she's going to make sure that John Jansen 2.0 doesn't happen, which part of me appreciates it. Part of me was
yeah, I
on
think that's
Travis's
fair.
team where Travis is like,
Yeah,
dude,
let's
like,
calm the
come
fuck.
on.
She initially I was in tune with this. I'm like, all right, that's actually fair because you do. It's more protection against Shannon though, because you probably don't want to deal with Shannon spiraling again. So it's more like, are you gonna fuck with her to the point where I have to hear about it for fucking months?
It's probably
That's more of like an
two-parter.
okay. But then she went overboard, of course, because she was just doing it the whole goddamn night, which is just uncomfortable for everybody.
I agree. I 100% agree. But the only thing to really come from this scene is that Shannon is planning to cut all ties with Katie, which
Yeah.
is a bold statement. And I was curious because we saw that like scene from last week where she like gets into it with Katie. So I was curious how it was going to play out. But that's the setup. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone on the same page because we got to check in with
Everybody is.
Jenn and Ryan real quick. And this is what I don't like, even if you feel a certain way, because they get into it about, I guess Dominic is talking in PE class, he needs to rein it in a little bit, whatever. And he goes into a confessional and comments on their birth father and his
Mhm.
involvement or lack thereof in their life. And
Yeah.
I'm not here to say what level of involvement that guy's in. I have a lot to say about what he does with their oldest son, Dawson, later,
Yeah, what the
but
fuck was that?
fucking insane. But I think no matter what, it's just a bad look to shit talk another
Yeah,
parent involved with your kids,
you gotta keep your mouth shut.
right?
He tried to do the "but I don't know" at the end, which is like, if you ever see a
But
meme of
that's his
that, where
business.
you give, like, the most earth-shattering, like, insult, but, like, trying to give advice, and then you end it with, "I don't know, though. Don't
Oh, you
ask
mean
me."
like
That's
Kermit the Frog sit, but that's none of my business.
yeah, that's pretty much what he did, and we just came off we're on the tail end of hearing about what Tamra did by doing all of that last year and how that impacted Jen's ex with the kids and all of that that goes into it. Maybe keep your mouth shut. Just tread carefully because
You know,
clearly he's watching, he's getting clips from the show, he's got some sort of reaction to it and trying to, work his way into it legally. Just don't poke the bear. It's
that's what
just
I'm
not a good
thinking.
look.
At no point is that going to be beneficial to him because if the
No.
kids love their dad, they're going to see that and go, fuck you, Ryan. If the
Yeah,
kids don't like their dad, they're going to say, why are you putting this out for everybody to see?
correct.
It's just a bad look. But
Yeah.
this is crazy. This is
Yeah.
absolutely fucking nuts. So Dawson's joining the Marines. That's not the nuts part. Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's a big move. But Dawson's oldest brother, I guess, Harrison, or I don't
Yeah.
know what the age disparage is.
We hadn't met Harrison before this scene, I don't
No,
think.
that's the first time I've heard of
Because
Harrison.
Dawson, we had a very weird conversation with him last year where we were like, "Oh, this
He was
is
a very
not
surly
great."
teenager. Just yeah.
Yeah. But Harrison, we hadn't met before, and Harrison is going to school at USC, which is pretty expensive. And I guess he needed a co-signer. So you would think, you know, there's a couple of people to choose from.
Dad, mom.
Maybe not the 18-year-old brother who's going to the Marines. What the fuck? What are we doing here?
Floored. I was
Yeah.
floored. And then I'm like, well, maybe Ryan should have taken a shot at this guy. Like, that's what dad would ask their
Yeah.
kid to co-sign a loan for their other kid for the tune of, I mean, student loan interest rates alone, but like, what is that, 60 to 70 grand a year for USC?
It was
More?
73. They put it on the board or on the board. They put it on the
Put on the
screen.
board.
Put
Yes.
it on the board.
So without
Yeah.
interest, you're looking at a $300,000 loan that you are now responsible for. As and Ryan actually breaks it down pretty well to him. He's like, these are all the things that are now impacted because you co-signed that loan. Like
Mhm.
all of these things are going to happen now. What father would do that and put their
I
kid
have
in the
no
hole?
idea. I I don't know. I had more questions than I got answers because then I'm like, what is Jen doing? Like, why didn't Jen co-sign the loan too?
I don't think Jen knew about it until after it happened. That's the vibe that I
Yeah.
got, which is
Yeah,
the
it's a
whole thing
very,
stinks.
very bizarre situation. But I
Not
mean,
good.
the things that we knew about Jen's ex, he was working for her parents on the farm. He needed a job there. They loved him. He still remained on the farm even after they broke up. They were trying to make it amicable. I guess there was something weird with money last year that was mentioned too, where he wanted to like get money from Jen or
Yeah.
something. It just seems shady. The whole situation is just bizarre.
Yeah, this makes it a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah.
I don't know. I hope we get more answers about it or talk about it more because that was a big thing. And I was like, oh shit. And then we kind
Yeah.
of moved on to Heather
Or
and Tamra.
maybe for their sake, we don't talk about it too much though.
Who's?
The kids,
Yes, but they're like 18. They're going to
they're
school.
18 and 21. Yeah.
He can take on $300,000 worth of debt. He should be able to talk about it.
Well, it won't be 300, I don't think, which is good
Why?
unless he's good. Because the kid's 21. He's already 2 years in.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So
So
one
I
or
guess they
two
needed it for the other 2 years. So it's like 150, unless
plus
you
the
throw
interest on those are fucking terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sucks. I feel bad for him. And he
Not great.
Dawson, as an 18-year-old's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
It's
whatever.
fine. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Maybe they thought because he's going to the Marines, but maybe he thinks like, oh, I get free education. So like this way I'm just co-signing. I could do that. Maybe the Marines will pay for it if things go bad.
I mean,
know.
you just hope that the dad covers it all and like he just needed a co-signer because his credit's not great. I don't know. It's fucking weird. But we get to Heather and
Student
Tamra.
loans, they give to anybody student loans. Who gives
I
a
know
shit if your
that.
credit's not great?
That's a good point. But that's my point. And if they won't give him a student loan, he needs a co-signer. Like, what does that say?
Yeah. I have so many more questions now.
Yeah, we've been talking about it for a while. I hope we get more answers because I'm very invested in that now. But Heather and Tamra go to lunch. Heather makes sure to tell us all at home that Tamara's been very calm lately. And
such bullshit.
Yeah, she's like, the last 6 months have been really heavy between. I will obviously empathize with the Teddy situation
for
absolutely.
sure. Yeah.
I can't imagine it's your best friend. You guys have had your podcast for a while, your friends on the show. So yes, obviously that's going to affect you. That can't be easy. And that's separate entirely. I have sympathy for that. Always will have sympathy for that. I don't care how much I don't like Tamara. Like that's hard to deal with. So I feel for her there. The other stuff, and I will highlight this every time. The Sydney of it all. Stop bringing her up. She's asked you multiple times to not bring her up on camera. Stop doing it. You do it again in this scene. You've done it multiple times before. She's now a talking point again because of the Facebook post. You brought that up again. Like it's one simple instruction. Leave me off the show.
There is somebody because Freakier Friday is coming out soon. So I think it was Betches or Queens of Bravo or somebody posted, this is the Freaky Friday that we want. And it was like Meredith and her son. And then it was just basically Brooks. Like a bunch of like Bravo. Yeah, it was Brooks. And then like, Lisa Barlow and Jack or like whatever, switching bodies. I really, and this is my therapy is the podcast. Mm-hmm. I need this. I really wanted to comment. Let's put Tamara and Sydney up there.
Oh my God.
I wanted to comment it, but I didn't because
good
I'm a
for
better
you.
person. Yeah, but I'm talking about it here. So I can still get my laughs, so people can still laugh at it, but I'm not just, putting it out there.
Yeah, you have to
people
listen.
Don't get mad at me. Yeah.
Oh, some people get mad at you, but that's okay.
That's all right.
But they talk about Gretchen briefly and obviously their interactions and, Heather's question is like, why is she not giving Tamara any grace? It's like, from what I've gathered thus far, and I don't know a whole lot about the Gretchen Rossi situation in the past. From what I've gathered, it's a very tit for tat relationship. Like they both dig at each other. So like, I don't think grace is being extended anywhere. I don't think we should expect that, especially on this show. Like when is grace ever given to anyone in OC ever?
I'm fully okay with just gloves off at this point. Like we don't even really need to talk about grace when it comes to these two, unless Tamara's going to do the hypocritical. Well, I would give her grace if I could, but like she doesn't want to play like that, so I'm going to play like this. Like, don't even say that. Like, we just expect you to play gloves off, so just go right into it. Like, we don't even need to have this conversation. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, it doesn't look like Gretchen's even coming at it from a way of like, I've got a clean slate for Tamara. We'll see how it goes. Like, no, Gretchen is coming onto the show ready to go after Tamara. So I would expect Tamara to do the same. So just do it. You know what I mean? Let's not talk about it.
Yeah, I agree 100%. But she brings up the Jen conversation she had about Ryan being invited to the party. And Tamara's like, well, just tell him he can't come. It's like, because of the reasons Heather gave,
Yeah.
it's like it's a couple's party. It makes
Mhm.
sense. Like he needs to be there. And Tamara's like, well, is his friendship better than mine? I'm like, no, you're just putting her in a really awkward, uncomfortable
Yep.
situation because you can't not say something incriminating when you're around Ryan. You're putting her in a bad spot and telling her how to run her
Yeah.
party now. It's not, it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be as deep as like, well, if you pick him, it's like, no, just like look at the
No.
situation as a whole.
This I actually really enjoyed because, as I said earlier, this was in the back of my mind. The way that Jen reacted to Heather talking about it kind of threw Heather through a loop. Like,
Hmm.
I wonder if she would have gone into this conversation with Tamara a little differently, saying like, "Yeah, I'm not really sure if Ryan's going to come. You know, you do what you got to do. I talked to Jen about it. It doesn't seem like things are going to change or anything like that. It was more, no, it's a couples party. Like she was firmly in the stance of like, I'm inviting who I'm inviting. You have to deal with shit on your own, figure it out. Tamara was thrown through a loop as well. She fully expected Heather to say that, yeah, Ryan's not going to come, or I told Jen not to bring Ryan, or whatever it may be. Tamara was caught off guard, which I'm always very excited about. And you can see she expected all of these
She's
things to just
rattled.
be handed to her because this is how her life has been since she came back to the show. People just do things for Tamara, and she expects them to do things for her. And when things go wrong, she gets crazy. And I want to see this. I want to see this is the real Tamara. We're going through therapy over here, Tamara. Let's see how those tools are affecting you now.
Well, we definitely will. We know that. But she's like, if he does come, then Eddie definitely won't. It's like, oh God, no,
Oh
not
no.
Eddie. Bummer. Shit.
Wow, man. You guys won't get to wear your fucking leather jackets and ride your motorcycle to the party. Oh no.
Together. Boo. Let's get to the setup for the party and a very interesting editing moment. Did you catch it?
Maybe.
It
I don't
involves
know. I
golf.
don't know.
It's the transition
No.
scene. You didn't? So
No.
they had a guy
Didn't.
golfing. It just hits the drive off the tee,
Yeah.
and then it shows like a scenic view of, I guess, downtown OC or whatever, like an office
Yeah.
building. And they put in like an animation of the window
Oh, I
breaking.
did see this. Yeah, it broke a window. Yeah.
The fuck was
Why?
that? I have no idea. I was like, interesting
I forgot.
choice.
I watched this like a couple days ago, so I definitely forgot about that. But yeah, I didn't rewind because I thought I saw it and it was funnier the way that I saw it. But I'm happy to know that that was true.
I did
That's
rewind
actually
it.
what
I
they
was like,
did.
did they just like throw in a random window break right there? Like, what a
Poor
weird
guy.
choice. Like, what do
This guy's so
yeah,
bad he hits it into the city.
this guy hit 700 yards that way and broke
Shouldn't have been
away.
standing there.
It was just, I'm glad you caught it too. I was like, what? What was that? We get to the party, and I will say, it looks like a cool party. We got coops in a coupe. I wrote that
Yep.
down. We got a
Yep.
lady in a champagne coupe pouring champagne into coupes. And we have a joint station because Heather's
Yeah.
cool. So we got a J
And
station.
we've got the shot thing was cool. I enjoyed that.
Oh, yeah. They throw and
Rip
I
a
was,
shot and throw it at the gong.
it's so funny because like when that was going on, I was like, oh my God, there's glass everywhere. They're ice. It's ice.
It's ice.
Yeah. And Shannon
Pretty
Shannon
cool.
sucks at it, but that's okay.
Yeah, she's really bad at it.
That's okay. And everyone starts
Fucking Phil.
arriving. Phil? Oh yeah, Phil
Phil.
was there. Of course, Phil walks in with Shannon. We get our another love hotel. This bummed me out. So like we could have had Earl. Not that Earl's like, the greatest guy in the world. It would just be
No.
funny if Earl made an appearance. But I'm glad that she's going through her roster of love hotel guys and
She's got
also
a bench.
clarifying
I love that she refers to it as the bench of guys.
it's
It's like, no,
great.
it's a roster, but yeah, close.
It's fine. It's fine. I think
Yeah.
that it's funny. Like this aspect of Shannon, I'm really enjoying. I think it's hilarious that she's
Yeah.
like, well, I've got all these guys'
Got a lot of
numbers.
numbers. Yeah.
Just keep.
Gotta
I
use them.
hope she brings a new Love Hotel contestant every
Yeah.
single. Will we see
Who's next?
Ralph?
Theo. Oh, Ralph. No, we'll have to wait for Potomac for Ralph, I'm sure.
I think he might be on Potomac. I could see him making an appearance. Ashley would
Yeah.
do that for the camera.
Yeah, definitely. Ashley's probably kicking herself right now, the timing of the season releases,
Yeah,
because she
she's
would have done
bummed.
this. We would have had so many different Love Hotel people with
Ralph,
Ashley.
Wale.
Yeah, it's not gonna hit the same.
No, it's not. It's not. But you know what else doesn't hit? Ryan's
What?
hoodie.
No, dude, what the fuck is he wearing? Like, I know you just
Oh
like
man.
you got out of ACL surgery or whatever, and you're rolling up to a party, limping in there. But you have a suit on. Why are you wearing a hood? Like it's that's your. I know that's your shtick, but like, come on.
His
What are we doing?
fashion sense is horrible. It drives me up a wall. It's not even like, oh, that's a funny fit. It's just like, what are we doing? Why are we doing
Yeah,
this?
no. He thinks he
I'm all
looks cool.
Yeah, and I'm all for people wearing what they want to wear. I wear wacky shit all the time.
Yeah,
I can't condone a hoodie to a suit event. That was stupid as shit.
no.
Anyway, you know what I do love? I
What's
love
that?
Matt leaning into this shit now. He's like, what are the odds of this party, Ryan? I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he misspoke. It didn't make any sense when he first said it. I knew what he
No.
was trying to say. What are the odds that Katie gets skewered at this party? Which is kind of funny because that's your wife. But yeah, he's leaning into it. I guess it's fine. It's fun, right?
God, you're a bummer. Yes, it's fun. It's funny. We like when people lean in. He's leaning into it. Damn it.
He's trying, I guess.
Oh, let's talk about Shannon because we get Shannon and Phil. Phil gets introduced to all the gals. Emily apparently takes this as like a sticking point, like, oh, like I've already met this Love Hotel contestant. This, it's like we get the shtick. We don't need you to explain it to us. Like, yeah, that's what she's doing. It's kind of funny until you point it out, and now it's like, I don't know, and maybe it's just because she's
Not funny.
bothering me.
We're
You
having
know?
a good time with the Love Hotel people. Shannon's having a good time. Maybe it's unintentional. Maybe she actually genuinely is like, I've got this whole list of guys that I could just bring to events. Funny. That's really funny for us. But when
Yep.
you bring it up, no, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah, I don't
wanna
like it
deal with
now. No, I don't want to. I don't want to do it anymore. Thanks a lot. It is also funny that they're doing this all in like a what looks like the Righteous Gemstones mega church, which I wanted. I
Yeah.
was more interested in that than the party itself. It's like, let's go for a tour in here. This place looks wacky.
I think that's just like a Bravo trend now because we had the party at the church the other day with Miami.
Oh, in
And we've
Miami,
got
yeah.
this. Yeah,
Old churches is the new trope. Who knew?
sure is.
It was sound baths one year, then it was trying to break apart marriages, and now we've gotten to mega churches. It was
Mega
the
churches.
natural progression,
Yeah, we all saw it coming.
without a doubt. Let's get to Gina and Katie. And, Katie's stoked that she even got invited. As we know, last year with Heather, things were a little rocky. So she's excited to be invited. She's upset at Tamra. And this is a great point. She's like, I went to Tamra, I fell on the sword. And the next day, she's telling all these ladies about the recording. It's like, yes, that's Tamra. Why you went
Yeah.
over there to try to apologize is beyond me. But hopefully, this is a
That's-
lesson to you.
We said this last week. That's why Tamara was so quick to bury the hatchet with you because she had something else on you.
Yep. She was ready to unleash the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and hopefully, here's the thing with Katie. I hope she starts learning from her mistakes and her missteps because she's done the same thing repeatedly with the bloggers and contacting people on the outside. I hope that she's able to start taking notes and be like, I'm not doing that again. I think I saw that in her conversation with Shannon, which we're about to get to, but I really hope it sticks.
I hope it sticks. I just don't know how she wants to go about it because she seems to be the type of person that, yeah, she does the I'm sorry buts. But again, she wants these people to really like her and she wants to be their friend. So she's kind of just hoping, like, oh, yeah, we'll just let that one go and I'll just be really nice and invite you to something and then we'll be good again. It's like, no,
Yeah.
they hold on to these things. They remember these things unless there's a full resolution. She needs to put herself in a better position where she gets that resolution. And then if somebody brings it back up, you can point at them and be like, we already covered that. We squashed that. You can't bring that back up. That's just stupid. It's gratuitous, and I don't really care.
Double
For it. That's all you
jeopardy.
really have to do. Yeah, it's double jeopardy. Exactly. So that's what she has to start doing, or she has to take the stance of what she was doing with Shannon a little bit later and just like, I don't fucking care. I'm over this. Like, that's what you have to start doing.
And I think we're starting to see that, and that's what the episode ends with, but not before we learn that Gretchen broke Slade's penis.
Thank God we had that. Now it just
That was
curves a little
funny.
bit to the left. Yeah.
She even shows us with her finger because this side doesn't get hard. There you go.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that part.
And then you cannot, no matter who you are, see her do that and have her comment on it and not think of Slade's penis. I
Mhm.
challenge you to do that because Lord knows I did.
Just have
You
a
did too,
visual in
didn't
my mind that I did
Yep.
not want.
Yep, exactly. It's impossible
I
not
like
to.
it, and he starts off by saying, he's like, "Oh, don't talk about that in here. Don't talk about it." And then he just leans into it towards the end. It's like, what are we doing? Come
He
on.
wanted it to. No, he was stoked that
Yeah.
she was talking about his dick on camera. Come on.
Yeah.
But Katie and Shannon, The showdown finally happens, and Katie leads it off pretty well, I thought, just because she's going with the, I'm sorry, there's no excuse route. Shannon brings up the text that was an excuse. Katie's saying it wasn't an excuse, it was context, blah, 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 blah. They get into it. Shannon's not having it. Let's just dive in because I want to ask you, is Shannon overreacting? Is Katie doing a bad job apologizing? All the above? Or is there something else going on?
Shannon overreacting, no. I think that she's a lot, obviously, and she's really out there. But it's still the same as what we saw last year, where she's still in a place of like, people are filming me, people are watching things, they're doing things without my permission, and I don't really like that because it's almost like she's very sensitive to just kind of being vulnerable.
Sure.
So this is okay. I understand why her brain goes to that. Why she was freaking out in the first place is, anybody's guess based on like all the things that she's been going through in the
I
last couple
think
of
it's
years.
simply the comparison of how she felt when Alexis was threatening videos that John Jansen had. I think
Yeah,
that's
that's all it
bringing
is.
up. Yeah.
Correct. That's all it is. So what we need Katie to do, because she's not going to be able to apologize when Shannon's in this state. She might never be able to apologize because Shannon doesn't really, Shannon saying that she's worse than Alexis is crazy, but I let her feel her feelings. You're not really going to be able to crack that shell. Katie tried, kind of, and she tried to go at it from some sort of logical standpoint, but she was still doing I'm going to explain everything instead of just apologizing.
Yep.
She started off with an apology, and then it kind of got to the point where Shannon was just going off. So then Katie felt the need to start explaining.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do in that situation. There's simply just nothing that Katie could have done in that situation. So I need her to start not caring. Just write it off. I don't give a fuck. Whatever. Shannon, go feel whatever you're going to feel. And if she starts doing that, it might be better for her. Maybe she'll get some respect. That's really all it is. But no, I don't think that she would have been able to get an apology out. So I can't say that she was doing a bad job apologizing.
I agree. And I also agree with the Shannon thing. I don't think the actual act, yes, I think it's a huge invasion of privacy. And I do think it's really fucked up to record anybody, whether it be voice or video, without their consent. Agreed.
Yeah.
I do not know if it's illegal because that law changes state to state. And we hear on every show when somebody records somebody that's illegal. And then people are like, actually, in the state of New Jersey or whatever. So I don't know the legality of it. What I do know is, yes, it's fucked up. And yes, it's obviously going to bring up some past emotions from the John Jansen thing and all of that. So I get her visceral reaction to the whole thing. Now, she loses me when she starts comparing Katie to John Jansen and saying that she's the most evil person that's ever been on the show, worse than Alexis,
That's an
worse than John Jansen. That's too much. But at the end of the day, you're 100% correct. We need to see a pivot from Katie to recognize, like, okay, this one I may never come back with Shannon. You need to stop caring about what the group thinks, because I also think what's biting her in the ass is the fact that she's trying to resolve these things, not doing the best job. I'm sorry, and people are seeing her as vulnerable and weak, because they're like, well, we don't have to take anything she says seriously because anytime something happens, she backs down. So no, we're going to keep hammering her. I think if she stuck, that's what, like the comparison of Tamra and her that Jenn made earlier. The difference is, if you're going to go toe to toe with Tamra, she's going to go 150% the opposite direction. She's going to do everything she can to convince you and the viewers at home that she's not in the wrong, and she will never accept defeat no matter what. Katie, if you press her a little bit, she immediately apologizes, and her apology's not good. So then you have extra ammo. So I think that for her to progress on this show and for her to make a dent in the group, she needs to cling to Jenn. That's a good friendship. And she needs to stop caring about the other ladies in the group. And in turn, they will probably flock to her more. They'll probably be more likely to get a friendship or relationship with her.
Yeah.
Because they don't think that she's a pushover. That's what it is. So she's not a pushover.
Yeah. She's low-hanging fruit right now. She's available for attacking at this point. Anything that she does or says or whatever is just fully open. It's just hunting season for her right now.
Yeah.
And it's just easy for people. Like, yes, Tamara got involved, but Tamara just did like the slightest little thing just because she knows, one, it would fuck with Shannon, who she wants to fuck with. I don't care what anybody says. And two, it's easy to just throw Katie under the bus because now Tamara can just walk away. Everybody can talk about, oh, Tamara did that again. She didn't really do a whole lot. She just left a little nugget of information out there, sent people into a spiral because it was just easy to do. But it's a problem when you've got people on the cast like Emily, like Gina, that are able to get to Katie so quickly. These are low people. These are people on the totem pole that really do not shake the world at all. They do not resonate with the audience at all. And yet they're getting to you. Those people can't get to you.
Nope.
If Tamara got to you, it's your second season.
Understandable.
That's going to happen. That's understandable. If Heather Dubrow got to you because she got activated and you tried to go after her, you tried to go toe to toe with her and you got knocked down, that happens. That's expected. But the fact that these other women on the cast who just have no bearing in the grand scheme of things are able to get to you so fast, that's a problem. You're going to have to figure that one out.
And honestly, that makes a lot of sense why Gina and Emily were so activated by all of this, because they finally found somebody that they're like, oh, we're winning. Let's just keep hammering this one home. It's working. It's working. And we're watching at home going, this shit's not that serious. And you guys are really ramping it up every scene. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Because you actually have an opening for the first time in your lives. So there you go.
Right. Because you're not going to step to Tamara like that. You're not going to step to Heather like that. We've seen you try. You back down eventually, and then you go and try to grovel to get back in their good graces. Like it's a tale as old as time. You found somebody lower on the totem pole than you, and you're taking advantage of it. But that's the funniest part is it's not landing. When it home's like,
not landing.
everybody's
bored.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody hates it.
So I don't know, dude. It's going to be an interesting season. Like I said, I actually like this episode just because I don't know what to expect. I don't know which way is up right now. It's confusing. I'm hoping that Katie kind of draws a line in the sand finally and sticks up for herself and stops trying to get in everyone's good graces. I want to see Jenn continue to take center in this center stage in this group because she's starting to do that. And I think that that's exciting because with her at the helm versus a Tamra, or Heather's not really at the helm, I would say Tamara probably, the show shifts because you have somebody that's nice. You have somebody that actually likes other people in that. And I think that other castmates would feed off of that a little bit, and it would be much less of what we're used to seeing in let's find something dumb to dig up. We're going to hammer it home the whole season. We're going to take sides, and then we're going to do horrible things to try to prove a point, such as bringing up Katie and her custody thing, trying to knock Shannon down while she's trying to get sober. Like that's where we end up constantly with this show. So I would like to see it shift. But
a shift is very necessary at this point. But it's so tough with this cast, and I know this show does numbers, but it does numbers because it's OC.
It's the Beverly Hills effect too, like the same idea.
It's the Beverly Hills effect, exactly, where we can sit here and we can talk about how they have a real problem on their hands with this cast. They're never going to see it because the numbers are just so high. That's really all it is. It's like, even as far as like, Heather's checked out. Heather wants to go somewhere else. Then send her somewhere else. Send her to Beverly Hills. Fine, whatever. Tamara moves the needle because she's Tamara. I just don't know what else. Like Shannon's a problem. The whole cast is a problem. It's just uninspiring is what I would say. So there are things I want to see, just like what you said. I want to see a turn of the tables. I want to see somebody like Jenn up there high enough, calling the shots, going toe to toe with Tamara, because that's what we need. We need a shakeup. If you're not going to change the cast, we need the actual cast to shake up themselves. So let's see what we have.
I mean, we have the setup. Whether they can follow through or not is a different story. But time will tell. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
That's all I got. Do you got anything else?
Nope. All good here.
Well, that's our show. These bros gotta go.